If you own a smartphone or mobile device, please plug in your Chromebook at the same time in order to charge it overnight and have it ready for school tomorrow morning. The Chromebook is important.
All right, we are recording at this point, so we want to make sure we're focused on the math. So here we go. Because last hour I attempted to record and the audio wasn't on, so I was like, schnooka. Okay, so today you were to watch the Ed puzzles, draw the pics, do your best. Today we're going to talk about these guys right here. Bam shakalaka, and we may get to a little delta math, we may not, we'll find out. But what we have to do is law of sines and law of cosines. You should have already watched this Ed puzzle. If you haven't, you're gonna be so lost. Oh my gosh. Okay, so with that in mind, let's do law of sines, law of cosines. This is hard. Okay. It's ugly. I'll give you that. It's ugly. But I don't think you're gonna find it difficult. And here's why. If I have this triangle, what this triangle isn't is a right triangle. Definitely not a right triangle. So I'm going to give you an estimate for this angle. Okay, 7 degrees is like tight.
I'd say that's like 70.
36. I heard 36. I heard 70. 12. We're going to make this side of 12. Cool. That's enough. All right. A, B, C. There you go. Now, across from angle C is a little side C. Does that make sense? I mean, it's not rocket science. Nobody's mind is like, blah. Okay, across from angle A is side little a. Is everybody okay with that? And side little b. Is everybody cool with that? Okay. So here's what we're looking for. Double checking that we're recording. Double check. Okay. Here's what we're looking for. We want to find all of the missing pieces that we don't know. What missing piece could you find for me right now? Third angle. How can we find third angle right now? Has to equal 180. So I got 106. So that's 74 by a little subtraction. Is everybody okay there? Close your Chromebooks, guys. Yeah. Thanks. Okay. So little subtraction, not a big deal. Correct? All right. Noses. Thank you. All right. Now, with this, we need to find some sides. Now, if I have a triangle like this, 6, 8, x, how could I find that angle there? Or I'm sorry, that side there. Pythagorean theorem, I can totally be like, 6 squared plus x squared equals 8 squared, blah, 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 all good to go, right? How could you find this angle here? A little tougher, but not bad. So, ka, to. Could I use, because it's a right triangle, could I just say sine or cosine or some crap like that? Okay, so what side do I know? Opposite. What side do I know? Okay, so what am I going to use? Sine. I say sine of x equals 6 over 8. And then I'm going to get my calculator out. And what am I going to do to get x by itself? How do I get rid of the sign? How do I get rid of sign? If you say divide by sign, I'm going to send you to the office.
It's the inverse.
Inverse sign. Sine inverse. So boo, boo. X equals, now do sine inverse of 6 over 8. Go. 48.6. Oh, well, okay, so you get what? 0.75, and you take sine inverse of 0.75, correct? And you said it was 48 point what? 48.59, we go 49 degrees. Okay. Is that okay with everybody else? So like this, we've done, this is all cool. How come I can't use any of that crap? Because I don't have any right angles. But can I still use 180 degrees if we get the missing angle? Okay. So now here's what I got to use. Sine A over A. Sine big angle B over little side B equals sine big angle C over little c. I do not use all three of these at once. I pick a pair. What pair do I know both parts of? Which one do I know the angle and the side already? I know A, I know the angle and the side. Do we agree? So could I say sine of over 12 equals, now, I know both angles. Which side do you want to find? C, sure, why not? So she wants to find C, so I'm going to use what angle? Sine of over, okay. How many variables are in this? One. How do I solve? Fraction equals a fraction. Oh, okay. So somebody find me sine 36. Somebody else find me sine 70.
Sine 36, you get 0.587785.
Okay, cool. 0.5877, is that okay? That is times C, do we agree? Equals, now what is sine of 70? 0.93, blah, 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 times 12. So take it times 12. 8.660, do we agree with her?
No, 0.8.
Okay, here's what I need. Sine of 70.
I got 11.27631.
11 point what?
2763.
That makes more sense. 11 point what?
2763.
All right, 11.3 for right now. Is everybody okay with that? What do I do to get C by itself? Divide both sides by? Okay. C equals 19 point what?
187.
Okay, so about approximately 19. Do we agree with that? Now let's see if this makes sense. 36 degrees goes with 12. 70 degrees goes with 19. Does that make sense? Small angle, smaller side, big angle, almost double, right? Almost double the side. Do we agree with that? So is everybody cool with that? Good. Your job is to find B. Go, find B. Great. What's the setup to find side B? I totally could. I could say sine of 70 over 19. Now, here's my only challenge with that. Did I round that number? So which pair should I maybe want to start with? Yeah, how about we go sine of 36, because that was given to me, and 12. Do you agree with me there? Now, to find B, I'm going to say equals what? So I'm going to say sine of 74 goes with little b. At this point, can I cross multiply? All right, let's do it. Hey, Eric, what's the sine of 36?
0.5877. Yeah.
Okay, what's 12 times sine of 74?
Terrible. I got 11.5351.
Yes. Okay.
Does everybody agree with that? So then what do? What do I do to get b by itself? Well, just straight up divide, right? The answer is? What is it?
19.888.
19.888. Okay, so basically 20. Do we agree with that? Now, why would it make sense that this is 20 and that's 19? Look at the two angles. 70 goes with 19, 74 gets a little bit bigger and goes with 20. Do we agree with that? Okay, so here's the deal. Your whole process is this, you ready? Find a pair to work with and use it to find the other two pairs. Can we do that? Find a pair to work with and use the other two pairs. That's all there is to it. Let's do another one.
On the delta mass, it's gonna have to slide, I'm assuming around to a certain decimal.
Yes.
Yeah, some.
Right. So let's go here, 48 degrees and 17 and 12. Okay, here we go. Little a, C, okay. Everybody got everything? All right, so what did I just say? Our first step is to find what? Find a pair. Tell me a pair. Okay. Can we use those two? So let's set it up. What you got?
Sine of 48.
Over. Perfection. Now what do I want to do?
Pick one that you don't know.
Okay. Am I going to use A or C? How come I'm going to use C?
Because you have a solid.
All right, so I don't know actual C, but I at least know side C is 12. Do we agree with that? All right, go. What am I going to do to solve, Solkowski? I agree with you.
48, sine of 48 times 12 is 8.917.
Okay. And what's the only other thing I have to do now? What we're going to do next?
17 sine.
Get rid of those 17s, right? Woo, woo.
So the 8.917 divided by 17 is the 0.524.
Okay, so here's my question. How do I get C? How do I get C?
Did you do sine inverse?
Sine inverse. C equals what?
31.6.
Is it too bad?
All right, now let's see if it makes sense. Let's use our brains. 48 went with 17. Do you agree?
Yep.
12 goes with about 31 or 32. Does that make sense? Cool. How do I find A and little a? You're already working too hard.
Wait, you have to equal 180.
Yeah, it has to equal 180, right? Has to equal 180. So could I figure out what those two add up to and subtract from 180? So let's say 48 and 31.6, 79.6, so it'll be 100, yeah, 100.4. Now, how do I set that up? Sine of E, sine 48, over, goes with sine 100 point, over. Okay, think of that cross multiply again. All right, is it ugly?
Yeah.
But is it difficult? You just find a pair to use the other pairs. So everybody go to that? That's it. Okay. Now, that's the law of sines. Why do we call this the law of sines?
You're using the sine.
I'm using sine. Okay, so we need to do the other one. Let's do law of cosine. And here's where we might use law of cosines. I don't know, 47 degrees, 10 over here, and a 12 over here. All right. A, B, C. Okay. How come I can't use law of sines?
Because you don't know the hypotenuse.
Well, there is no hypotenuse because there's no right angle. But I know angle A, but do I know side A? No. I know side B, but I don't know angle B. I know side C, but I don't know angle C. What don't I have? What did I say you had to look for first in law of sines? No. Find a pair. Do I have any pairs here? I got one part but not the other, one part but not the other. I'm out, correct? This is why we need law of cosines. Here's the law of cosines. C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine C. Or it could be A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine of A. Or there's one other option, right? What could go first and the last option? That's it, okay. What's the only key thing you have to pay attention to according to my end puzzle? That's it. Whatever the letter out front is on the end. Do you agree? So, which letter or which angle do I know? I know A in this case, right? So what goes over here? A squared goes over here, because that's the side, correct? Equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine of 47. Do we agree? Do I have those in the right spots? What goes in place of B? 12 plus minus
2.
Is everybody okay with that? Now, why did I put the 12 and the 10 in parentheses there? So you know to multiply that it's not 21,210, correct? All right, so what do I do first? Okay, 144 plus minus 24 times 10, 240 cosine 47. Does everybody agree with that? What do I do next? Combine like terms. So I got 244 minus 240 cosine 47. What do I do now? Okay, you fell right into my trap. Because here's the deal. Can I subtract those two numbers? No. The biggest mistake kids make is they want to subtract those two numbers. How come I can't take 240 away from 244? It's connected to the cosine 47, isn't it? Order of operations says I have to do multiplying before I do subtraction, don't I? Okay, so here we go. Let's find this number.
163.7.
Okay, so now what can I do? There you go. 244 minus 163.7 is you're just kind of randomly guessing, aren't you? It'll be about 80.
76.3.
What is it?
76.3.
244 minus 163.7. What is it? There you go. Okay.
Oh, 240. Okay, I did 240.
80.3. Now, here's the next biggest mistake kids make, Valencia. You ready? They say, the side is 80.3. How come they're wrong?
Because they're still scoring.
That's amazing, Valencia. You sounded just like Zolkowski. I'm not sure why anyone would want that, but what do you get? Square root. Yeah. A equals 8.9. Now, where do I put that 8.9 again? A. Is everybody okay with that?
And then now you use at least 1/3 of the time.
That's right. Zolkowski is 100% correct. Do I now have a pair to work with? So what could I use? Law of sines. Could we say sine 47 over 8.9 equals, which one do you want to use?
12.
The 12, okay. Sine of B over 12. Does everybody agree with that? And can we go from there? And once I know this angle, which is going to be about 52, what can I do to find B? Subtract from 180. Would that give me the other piece? There you go. Do you see why we had to use the law of cosines here? We didn't have a pair. But once we had a pair, there you go. All right. There is one other situation. Because that was a side angle side situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, that we're gonna do side, side, side.
You betcha we are. 8, 10, 14. There you go. What's wrong with this?
We don't have any angles.
I have 0 angles. So, what do we want to find? Which one?
See.
C. I'm just going to go C just because. So let's find angle C. So, what does my law of cosine start out with?
C squared. Wait.
Okay, if I want this on one end, what goes on the other end?
The same thing.
8 equals
A.
10 squared plus
14 squared.
minus times 10 times 14 cosine of
C.
C in this case, right?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. What do you got? Yep, 1000, yep.
140. Oh, 280.
196.
Oh, shoot.
280
Yeah.
cosine C. Now what?
Add 296.
Okay, 64 equals 296 minus 280 cosine C. What now?
I'll subtract 280.
Do not subtract. Why do not subtract?
That's why it's attached to the
It's attached to the cosine. So what am I going to do? You're so close. I like where your brain is, but we're not there yet. Can I get rid of the 296? There you go, minus 296. What is 64 minus 296? Negative 232 equals negative 280 cosine C. So now what do I do? Divide by negative 280. What happens to the two negatives? And what is 232 divided by 280?
513.
What?
12.
What are you talking about, dude? 232 divided by
280.
equals 0.82.
0.8285.
Did I get it wrong?
85. Okay. How come I'm wanting to go about 4 spots?
So you can round.
So that when it asks for me to round to the nearest 10th, am I going to be okay? Okay. So now, finally, Gardner, what do I do? That's right. Okay, cosine inverse of 0.8285 is?
34.055.
34. So basically 34.
Yeah.
All right. So that's 34 degrees. Now, why are you happy?
Because we can do the sine.
Because you could do the sine. Could I say sine of 34 over 8 equals sine of b over 14? Can I do that?
Yep.
How come that's kind of a crappy way to go about it? Nope. No, because the other way is worse. Here's the problem. Did we round this number? Then did we do the inverse cosine and round to this number? And then we're going to take that rounded number, we're going to use the law of sine, where we're going to plug it in, we're going to round it some more, and use it for another side. Yeah, you see the problem. In this class, that would be fine. In pre-calculus, or in calculus 2, what would be a better way to find B? Yes, 14 squared, right, equals, well, yes, of course.
Delta math gives you the two options. to figure it out. How nice is it?
Here.
Cosine of B. And then you basically work it again, correct? Okay. So here's the thing. I don't care which way you do it for now. Okay, as long as you come up with an answer. Which one is easier to use? This one's pretty straightforward. There's no guessing here, is there? But is there a lot of calculation?
Yeah.
Yes. Law of sines is a little easier to use, but there's more guessing on it. Like you got to find pair, then you find this other pair, but there's less calculation. Does that make sense? So they both have their best bits. Okay, what if I'm going to do this triangle right here? I want to find x. I know 20, and I know 3. I can't do Pythagorean theorem because I don't have the other side, but I like where your brain is. How come I couldn't use Pythagorean theorem over here? No right angle. How come I totally could use it here? Right angle. What else can I use because there's a right angle? There you go. Could you simply say sine of 20 equals 3 over x? How come? There's a right angle, correct? So I can use straight up sine, cosine, tangent, secant, cosecant, cotangent. I can't do it here because there's no right angle. Okay, so it's not really any different than what I gave you in the ed puzzle, is it? But hopefully you've now seen it twice. So if you're like, I've only seen it once, hee hee hee, good luck. I'd recommend going and doing the ed puzzle. It is fairly short. And your homework for tonight is these problems. Now let's talk about these problems. What would I do to attack number 1? First thing, find the missing angle. Could I do that one super fast? Then what would I do? Law of sines using 6 and whatever that is. Boom. And then could I do law of cosines, find x and z? Sure. Okay, number 2. What would you do number 2? Find a missing angle. Sure. Then, boom. Do I have a pair here I can work with? Law of sines. Okay. Number 5. What would you do to attack number 5? Straight up sine to find that angle, huh? Because is it a right angle? Oh, could I just use Pythagorean theorem to find this side? All right, so we're going good there. What about number 3?
Oh, we just did that.
We did. Because what don't you have? No angles, so what do I have to use? Laws of cosine, right? Number 4, what do I have to use? I have an angle, but I still have to use law of cosines because I don't have any pairs, do I? And then number 6, what would you do for number 6? Probably laws of sines again, wouldn't you? Okay, so here's the deal. Your homework for tonight is 1, 2, and 3. That's it, 1, 2, and 3. Guess what homework's going to be for Friday? I would think so. Yeah, so if you wanted to get after it, recommend doing all 6. Does that make sense? Okay, but right now you can get after this. Okay, draw the picture, show all the work. Is it going to take quite a bit of paper? It is. It is. It's going to take quite a bit of paper. All right, so I'm not, and now how come I'm not having you go straight to delta math?
Because we're still trying to get
Nice. Because delta math is going to be very specific at what number you round to, correct? Is this going to be very specific? No, but I'm much more worried that you get your process going. If I see your nose again, you go to the office. All right. No, covering all of your face is a good start, but that's fine. All right. Does that make sense, guys? So basically, 1 through 6 is due Monday. Okay. Or Tuesday, whatever. But I'm also going to be adding more on Friday. On Friday, today is, good job, everybody. So I guess I'm adding more on. What day do I have you next? Friday, yeah, because it's A day Wednesday, A day Thursday, B day Friday. So yeah, basically 1 through 6. All right, go.